Hello viewers and welcome! This is Judgment, the apocalypse survival simulation game. I'm excited to try this one out. I only played it for a couple of hours just to understand the game mechanics and understand the keys and the mouse and yeah, just the base mechanics. So I'm really excited to play it on the channel for you guys. As the title suggests, this is a survival simulation game. You are leading a colony of survivalists, and there is a strategic and tactical aspect to it. Strategic is basically researching technologies, building buildings, crafting items, and then you have these tactical elements where you need to assign a small group of people, give them some basic supplies, basically we give them weapons and armor, and you send them out on missions to scavenge and bring back some materials into the base, food and water, things like this. Some missions are also, for example, capturing a certain citizen and bringing them into the base, developing the story, and so on and so on. Lots of exploration and base building aspects to this game. So I really like this kind of games, and that's why I'm actually showing it here on the channel for you guys. So the story is fairly simple. The story says that you were camping in the woods together with some friends, and out of nowhere some creatures started appearing. Apparently these are demons, so it's a demonic apocalypse. It's not zombies this time, but it's demons, which is slightly different. And then your first reaction was just to survive and flee, and as you were running from these creatures, you see that some other people out there are actually fighting back, and they are actually successful with this. And then this gives you actually the idea that you maybe want to fight as well, so you start building your base, and we're back to the original story, as I told you before. So you build your base, you research technologies, you build buildings, and I think the grand goal of this game, I didn't play it all the way to the end, so I'm guessing a little bit here, is to probably first find out why and from where these demons are appearing. And I would guess that, you know, at the end you need to destroy this threat and return a normal life to the world. This game is fairly fresh, fairly new, released on May 2018 by developer and publisher Suncrash. So if you like this kind of theme, survival simulation coupled with some tactical combat, I would definitely suggest checking this one out. Okay, enough talking. Let's go into the game, and I think this is the best way to demonstrate and test the game. So we will just create a new game here. We will play on, as I say, I have a couple of hours in this game. I'm not an expert, but I think a challenging difficulty should be good enough. We have a map seed, so this is procedurally generated. Every time you start, you get a unique setup in terms of terrain and people. We won't show tutorials. I know a little bit about the game now, so I will explain as I go, but this let's play will not focus specifically on tutorial aspect of it. You can play the story mode on the Sandbox Mode. Basically, we're playing the story mode where you are given some missions which I think lead you through the story, and we will just explore. I think the story is very interesting, and I didn't obviously discover everything here. I probably just started with the story, so I'm really interested how the story develops. So the story just gives you some missions that you need to complete. And the sandbox mode is basically you just try to survive as long as you can, as the tooltip here says. We'll see the introduction. I think we'll just start the game, see what kind of people we get. Okay, so we got 3 people. These are the starting survivors: Sonia, Max, and Amaya. These people have different traits and skills and so on. We will discover this when we go into the game. I will not min-max this, so we got artisan, engineer, and academic. I think these professions also give them some specific bonuses or maluses. If you want, you can, I think, re-roll the characters, but I will not do this. This is just fine. And let's start. And I did turn on the story and the intro, so we will go through a short cutscene first.
It was one of your monthly camping trips, escaping the daily routine, drinking beers and telling jokes. All of a sudden, 2 terrified hunters come running out of the dock, screaming at you to hide. You hear loud growling noises from the woods behind them. Out of the trees appears the creature, a beast like nothing you've ever seen before, straight out of a horror tale. It catches up with the hunters, and they turn to fight.
Okay, here we are with the first mission of the game. Here they come. While your small group quickly hides amongst the trees, the 2 hunters check their weapons one last time. Jeremiah and Chandler have never faced monsters such as these, but they're still combat veterans with years of training. Instinct quickly settles in. So this is what I was telling before. So your group of people first flees from these demons, but then they see these 2 hunters who actually fight them. And now me as a player, I have to use or I have to play with these 2 experienced fighters and destroy a few waves of demons. I think the game just tries to show you how the combat looks like when you have your people much better equipped than you have at the beginning of the game. So the first mission is to just simply kill the creatures. Okay, so the game is paused. As you can see, these are our 2 survivors, Chandler and Jeremiah. Jeremiah has a hunting rifle, so a ranged weapon, and Jeremiah has a katana, so a powerful sword. And they also have some abilities or weapons or some items that they can use during the fight. So since Jeremiah is a ranged guy, it's better to have him behind a melee guy, and if ideally behind some cover. Of course, the cover here is not on the right side because we have our enemies right in front of us. And I don't think I have the time if I want to move Chandler to jump behind this barrel. So he will just stay here behind Jeremiah and try to shoot as many of them as they can, while Jeremiah will stand in front and just sort the creatures as they come. Let's see how this develops. I don't think you can really die in this first scene, so yeah. Let's send Jeremiah slightly out just to block the way. Yeah. Hellhound. Okay. I think this is the first wave done, so take cover. The hunters hear more creatures emerging from the woods. Breathless and scared, they prepare to defend themselves against yet another wave. These creatures can attack from afar. Ducking behind cover, such as the ruin of the old car nearby, can provide increased protection from ranged attacks, as well as increased accuracy. The hunters have skills and equipment that grants them special combat abilities. When a survivor is selected, his active abilities appear at the top of the screen. However, hover the mouse over them to learn what each ability does. So basically we need to kill the second wave. This time it's a little bit harder because they have ranged weapons, ranged abilities instead of just melee, so they will damage us a little bit more if we're not careful. Okay, pause the game because they are already coming. So the game suggests to hide behind this car, which is probably a smart thing. I just hope I have time to get there, probably, and put Jeremiah in front. Maybe we can even, well, let's do this for now. We can maybe even, well, let's get in position. And I think I want to, let's protect. Okay, and now rush this guy. And I think these Reapers are the most dangerous ones, so that's why I want to focus on them. Okay, so this is the second wave done. As you can see, Jeremiah is really hurt right now. He's got basically 2 status bars. This is the in this tactical combat. So this is not a lasting damage. This white part is the temporary damage, and these so all this white part will heal back as we get out of this combat mode. So that's what I wanted to say. So you have the temporary damage and the lasting damage that you need to be aware of. So I will just run back, I think, and okay, now phase 3. I think this is the last attack. Jeremiah, carrying a blade, is well suited to be a frontline defender, while Chandler, with his hunting rifle, is better at attacking from afar. Survivors with ranged weapons suffer a penalty in both attack and defense when attacking enemies adjacent to them. Keep Chandler behind Jeremiah. Okay, more creatures are approaching. Okay, so this is another wave coming. We will go back and we will quickly heal, I think. Heal ourselves. Okay, and maybe we can now open with the grenade. So Jeremiah has a grenade, and let's say they will, because they are moving in, let's throw it somewhere here. Don't throw it on the car, but I think, yeah, let's throw it over there. Okay, so this did some damage. Perfect. I think, again, I want to focus on the Reaper. Maybe I can ask Chandler to focus on the Reaper, since Reapers are, from this group, I think the most dangerous creatures. And since they are ranged, I will just rush them. Oh, they are coming closer, so never mind. Just come closer because... Okay, so that's it.
The strange creatures lie dead. What were those things? They look like demons straight out of a horror film. But it's not over. You hear more growling sounds from the dark woods. More of the menacing creatures come swarming into the clearing. The hunters are surrounded and yell at you to run. You waste no time and do as they say. You climb a small hill that affords a clear view of the nearby town. It is already burning. You can hear the sound of growling and panicked screams carried across the wind. The creatures are everywhere. Going back is not an option. You decide to move away from the town, deeper into the woods. You find a remote clearing where you decide to regroup and try to figure out what just happened.
Okay, so here we are at the base on the strategic level of the game, and this is the first chapter of the story that we enabled. So this one is Shelter. You need a rest now, as your flight from those things has left you bruised and exhausted. You seem to be safe for now, but you can still hear the occasional explosions from the town you left behind. You are happy in a terrified sort of way. Okay, I was afraid I just want to say that we're happy here to have survived the attack. Okay, we're happy that we survived the attack. That part I understand. It will certainly be just a matter of time until the government calls in the bombers and takes care of those creatures. But in the meantime, it's still too dangerous to think about going back to town, and you will need to fend for yourselves in the woods for a while. There are less than a handful of you still alive, and your group will need to build some sort of a shelter to have any chance of surviving until you are rescued. So apparently we will not play those hunters anymore. As I said, this was probably just an intermezzo, just a way of the game showing us how your people can develop over time. But now we will play those 3 survivors, pretty helpless at the beginning, no equipment. And apparently these 3 guys still think that the government will take care of the problem and send help, send them some rescue. And their first idea is, well, we just need to maybe hide and survive here for a couple of days. So the first mission is to build a log cabin, a well, a food table, and a bed. And pretty easy things. And very nice to start exploring the interface and the mechanics. Okay, so here we have these 3 survivors, Sonia, Max, and Amaya. What I like to do first is just by looking at priorities. This is for me the easiest way to see like a general overview. These are some, as you can see, things that they want to do preferably, like gathering water, searching debris, so they will progress faster. And down here you have the percentages, how good are they at certain things. So for example, since Max is very good at researching and he likes to research, so I will put his skill on top. So he will choose his tasks from left to right depending on what kind of task is available at that time. So for example, Amaya is a very good crafter, so I will leave her this task as priority number 1. But she's also a good farmer somewhat. So I want to put these tasks somewhere on at the front of the queue. For now, of course, you can then optimize this much more. You can optimize them however you like, and to a very great detail. That's what I wanted to say. So in general, Max is a researcher, Amaya is a crafter, Sonia is scavenger, some kind of a lumberjack. Max also knows how to harvest. So this is just a general impression, but of course you can go here into skills and you have all these bonuses here, but it's a little bit harder to compare. You can do this and you can see these bonuses as well as others, like for example Amaya has a reduced vision range, which is important in tactical missions, not so much in this strategic. So these more of a combat-based effects are only displayed here, while the base building and crafting aspects, let's stop the time for now, are listed here. So okay, so here you have the missions under this first icon. Build a log cabin, a log cabin. So this is the build menu. Build a log cabin. Apparently it will take no resources. And where do we want to start the base? We need some space, obviously. We could start probably also some space to walk around. We could start with the cabin like this, so we can put farms and a well and other crafting station in front of it. I think this should be just fine. So build a cabin, a well. Let's try to build a well. So just put it somewhere close, I think in front of the, maybe even like this. No, let's put it like this so that they can stand around the well. We will put, or maybe we can put it over here. Yeah, because I want to put farms here in front, and I want to have some space. Let's put the well here on this end. A food table and a bed. Build a food table. Oh, let's wait because we need some structure such as a bed and a food table need to go inside the cabin, obviously. So when we will start the time, these people will start working, and we have 3 people and we have 2 projects, so definitely we can give them some other tasks such as chopping trees. Let's chop the trees around the cabin so that we have some more space to walk around. Maybe even, so this is the task assignment tab. As you can see, I can chop trees, I can search debris, mine. So, and as you develop your colony, you get more and more options available. Also here, for example, building, this is not everything. You can build much more, but you need to research the technologies to build other things. This is the crafting menu. Again, you can craft. For now, you can just craft a couple of things, but as you develop your base, you get more and more options here. Okay, so for now, let's just do what the story says, and we will start. One thing though, I know that some people like to play this really fast. I like to play this slow and just observe the people as they are working, and so most of the time I will play on speed 1. Maybe if it's really nothing happening, I'll go to speed 2, but I'll not play speed 4 or speed 8. That's just the nature how I want to play this. I hope it will be interesting enough. If it gets too boring, do let me know. I can adjust, but I think if you go very fast, things it's the little things that you miss, little optimizations. For example, if you play slow, you see that we will see now somebody will start I hope, or they are all chopping woods now, and you may say, why are they all chopping woods, right? So you can go priorities and see that the building assignment is always behind the woods chopping assignment. So specifically Max here, you can see Max is a builder. I mean, at least he likes to build things, so it makes sense to put this slightly forward so that he starts building, and immediately he is now building the cabin. Okay, so that's done, and he will get more skill out of this than other survivors would, because this is his preferred one of the preferred tasks. Okay, and now that we have the well, Sonia is immediately gathering water. You can see here the basic resources that you have. We have 27 wood, 65 water, and scrap. So survivors are already starving. Yeah, and they are starving because we didn't build a food table, so they can't take food until we build a food table, which is probably time. It's time to do this right now. Okay, and what was the last thing? And the bed. We can also build a bed, of course. I think we should just build a bed as well. Build the bed. Okay, build the food table and the bed. And when Max builds the food table, they will go to the food table and pick food from this stock here. This game doesn't have stockpiles, that's just like some other games do. Okay, so as you see, Max immediately ate some food, and now they are all eating. And also you see that their health is slightly lower now because they were basically starving already, so we didn't build the food table fast enough. So, Chapter 1, Survival, Learning to Farm. Questions abound in regard to the demons. Some in the group are certain that they will soon possess your souls, and others think that they could somehow meet and converse with the demon to learn what they want. In the meantime, finding food will be a critical problem, so you must learn some basic agriculture to grow your own. You will need to pool information and begin experiments with the supplies at hand. So the first task is to build an experiment table. So this will put us on the path of research. So you need an experiment table. Okay, it's over here. Build an experiment table. And as you can see, Max is now sleeping, and when they sleep, they have they are recovering their health. So you see, Max is also recovering the health from lack of food at the beginning of the game because I didn't build the food table fast enough. Also, as you can see, Sonia is collecting water. So some of the resources, where is this? I think it's under crafting. No, it's under items. You see that water, I think we will put the minimum and maximum amount for water. Let's say that they should start gathering water if the supply drops below 50, and they should stop when we have at least 70 should be enough for now, at least at the beginning of the game. Same thing with the salad. Obviously we need vegetables to make salad, but it's also on auto crafting, so they will start making salads if we have vegetables when they drop below 30 salads, and stop when they are at 50 or above. Okay, so some of them are still chopping the wood here. I'm just looking. There are some other types of resources which give you scrap. We have no scrap at the moment, and scrap over here, scraps, they are really good for building many things in the game. So I'm looking for the nearest scrap resource. I think it's this one. And you can see you can get here 37 scraps and 5 medicine, 28 scraps and 3 medicine. Let's check this one out. 36 scrap. I want to find something that is closest to my base, because walking is a very important aspect, and I think you shouldn't spend, well, let's just do this one. I don't like it too much because it's quite far away. Now, who will be the most successful at this task? So this is this magnifying glass icon. Apparently Sonia has plus 40% speed when she is searching through the breeze. So that's just fine. So, and she's immediately going there, bringing in more scrap for us and more medicine supplies. While Amaya here, she's going for sleep. Let's check. Over the course of the game, we will learn these. Amaya, she's a crafter, and also well, not the best farmer, definitely a crafter. So Amaya is a crafter. Okay, now we have the research table here, and Max is already, yeah, he's performing experiments, which means that we have here these research points accumulating. So when we get to 5 points, we can research farming over here, and when we research farming, we will unlock the vegetable farms. Okay, this will be fairly quickly. As you can see here, we have 3 research points already. 4 and 5. And I think we can now research farming. Yeah. Okay. And this is now the Chapter 1 Survival Food Source. Your farming research is doing well, and you will need to build at least 2 farm plots to even come close to feeding yourselves. You may not have enough resource to build these now, but there are plenty that you can collect. You can chop trees for wood, quarry for stone and clay, or search debris for scraps. So, as you can see, Sonia is already searching debris for scraps, but we need to build 2 vegetable farms to continue. Let me stop the game. Let's see, what do we need for 2 vegetable farms. We need 16 wood and 10 stone. So we will need to collect stones to build the second one. Let's just build one. So I want to build farms fairly close to the base, because farms need lots of tending. So maybe we leave some space to walk between them. Or do we just put them... Let's build the first one over here, just in front of the door. So as I said, walking is a big... so by putting things together, but obviously not too close so that you can actually walk between, you can really optimize the speed of things that get built and the way that things progress here. So build this farm, and I think we don't have enough for the second one. No, we need more stones. So we will find some stones, the closest one, and I think this is the closest stone, and we'll issue the order to quarry the stones here. So it's this small patch in the woods. And now also see who from our group is the best at this. Well, nobody has any bonuses, but Max, well, Max is researching, so I think. So as you can see, sooner or later you will get into situations where you cannot be optimal all the time. So it's probably best to keep Max doing his research because he's really good at it. Maybe also do some farming. Yeah, probably maybe stop research for a moment and do some farming. And somebody else, it doesn't even matter, Sonia or Amaya, probably Amaya, because Sonia is looking through scraps. Amaya. So when Amaya wakes up, we will send her to collect these stones, and we'll stop experimenting for the moment, so that somebody needs to build, of course. Well, no. Sorry, guy, you can go back. You can go back to your research things. Who is the builder now? Builder Max, you're the builder. Sorry, Max, you will need to do this. So at the beginning of the game, you can really min-max like this. And you really, in Amaya, you will go and you will quarry the stone. But then as you get more people, obviously, it would take too long to really min-max like this. You just set the priorities, and sooner or later, somebody will come around with a good stat. If you assign these priorities well, sooner or later you will have somebody on the case that's actually capable of doing that job. But at the beginning, since you have 3 people, you can, and if you play slow, like I'm playing here, you can min-max like this and find the best person for the job. or at least if you can't find the best person for the job, you can at least leave the people who are good at some other job unassigned for something. For example, nobody's really good at mining these rocks, but Sonia, I wouldn't send Sonia there since she's good at scavenging, right? So okay, now we have the farm, and Max wants to go back to research, but no, we'll just put him here and we'll tell him to first tend the farm. And probably since we did get some more stones, we can build a second vegetable farm over here. And you will just have to build this one as well. Where are you going now? Yeah, he will eat something and now continue. Sonia is coming home. She wants to eat as well. So as you can see, this food goes away really fast. So you need to really take care of food and water. So these are the basic resources, and there's many types of food, and the more types you have available, the more bonuses you have for your colony. So it does make sense to build different kinds of different sources of food, different farms, and craft different sorts of. You can craft bread as well. I mean, as I said, I didn't really play through the whole game, but I got to the point where I could bake bread. So it's not just salads all the time, obviously. Okay, Max wants to sleep. And this little M sign just tells us that these survivors are manually assigned to the job, and they will keep doing this until they complete the task. So let's see this stone. She still has 5 stones. When this is completed, she will start picking other tasks depending on the priority queue that she has. And this one here has still 27 scraps. And you see now that we have now begin to collecting the scraps. We have 12 now. And wood is a very useful resource. You need insane amounts of wood. Everything requires wood. But not literally everything, but lots of things. Okay, so the next chapter. Arm yourselves. There are no hysterics and whimperings in your group. Just a clear understanding that Survivor now depends upon your ability to perform some basic Stone Age tasks that your ancestors mastered thousands of years ago. Your group will need to both hunt and defend yourselves, so some sturdy wooden clubs should be crafted. Craft 3 clubs. Okay, the game wants us to craft 3 clubs. So this is the crafting menu over here. As you can see, it is enabled. We can craft, and this just requires 2 wood to craft. So 3 clubs will consume 6 wood, and this will add 10 damage to each survivor. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's something to at the beginning of the game. So we can just queue up 3 wooden clubs. And now, if it's who is the crafter? It's of course it is Amaya is the crafter. So if I want to, I think I can just cancel these, and she should. So you can see now she's crafting the clubs. 1 club. So she's really fast at this. 2, 3. Okay. None of you thought you were free of the demons, and in fact a small demon is wandering nearby and has noticed your camp. Your group must prepare to defend yourselves as best as you can and be ready to fight your aggressors hand to hand with your rough clubs. Defend your base. Okay, so we will get attacked now. From my experience, the game is too paranoid about this. It takes usually a lot of time now. You know, if I start, what we can do now, since it takes no time, is I can just equip the clubs. So we have 3 people and 3 clubs. Everyone gets 1 club. It's a simple melee weapon, as you can see, and you can now see the stats now. Every survivor, well, these two, Sonia and Amaya, deal 10 damage. Max here, however, he only deals 5 damage just because he has a certain stat that basically reduces his melee damage. That's just bad, and he is also not very accurate. So still, at minus 50 melee, it probably makes sense to make him a ranged character, or maybe even just leave him at home when you go out on the missions. So he is more of a guy whom you leave at home and just give him some things to craft and build while you're away. But maybe a ranged weapon would be good as well. Minus 10% is bad, but not terrible. So let's keep everyone doing now their own jobs and wait for that aggressor. So we will see our first attack. It's usually just one guy. Also, I think that's interesting how this game, in most of the survival games nowadays, you get the zombies, but here you have these hell creatures, demons basically, all kinds of demons. And okay, so enemies are almost upon you. Prepare your survivors. So you enter into this defense planning mode where you can maneuver your people. You can tell them where to go and what to do. And okay, prepare. Still, even when you get this, maybe we should bring Sonia a bit closer. But still, this game gives you lots of time before. Even this is, look at this, she will chop this tree probably. So yeah, it's still very early and very easy, so this one attacker won't be too hard, obviously. Sonia is now just waiting here because I'm expecting him to come. But as you can see, it's still a lot of time. I could have left there Sonia doing the scavenging some more. Okay, and now we are being attacked. Okay, now this is the screen where you equip your people. Apparently we only have clubs, no armor, no special items. Everyone will fight. This is the level. Obviously your character progress and you get some other traits and skills and bonuses, but it's not important now. We are now just here to defend the base, so it is just one fire imp. So yeah, this maybe you would think that you cannot really have any meaningful strategy with just 3 guys with the clubs, but in fact you can. Fire imps are ranged damage guys, so what you need to do, I think, is try to flank them. So we will, let's say, it doesn't really matter where we do this, but let's group together somewhere out here. Where is our third guy? Oh, they are marching together. Okay, so now Sonia needs to hide in the woods so that she can flank. He will go after Sonia. That's all fine. So if that's the case, okay, you need to spread out so that you can flank this guy pretty well. So now Sonia can attack. Max will do the frontal attack, and Amaya will attack from this side. And as you can see here now, because she's flanking the fire imp, she's dealing 30% more damage. Also, Max is flanking the Fire Imp. Apparently, Fire Imp, I can't see him here, but she's facing Sonia, so she does not have the bonus, obviously. Of course, Max, as we know, not this one, Max has a malus to damage, so he's really just dealing half of the damage, even with the oh, that's just hang on, that's not right. These are other bonuses. None of them is getting the flanking. Really? Oh, no, no, no. Sorry, guys. Totally wrong explanation. So, apparently Fire Imp is facing south. And now Sonia has the accuracy and damage bonus for flanking, right? So, as you can see, he's almost dead, so he will die immediately. Okay, so he is dead now, and we succeeded with the first defense of the base. Only Maya gets some damage, but which will heal over time. So, okay, and we got some loot, and we killed one Fire Imp. Okay, scavenging. Learning that you can in fact fight back successfully against demons has raised your spirits a bit, but it has been a while since their appearance, and no military effort to rescue survivor has yet materialized. The realization that you may not be rescued at all is difficult to digest. Perhaps you yourselves will need to lead a militia of all the survivors to fight against the demon horde. So apparently now the group is thinking that maybe, you know, the hope of the government rescuing us will not materialize, as they say here, and they're starting to think more of a strategic approach, a long-term approach where they want to get better at surviving and fighting, and at least fight back, if not destroy the group, destroy this threat entirely. You must prepare. Scattered around this area there seem to be a few points of interest that could be valuable sources of materials. You are tempted to push some exploratory expeditions a bit further away from the settlement. Demons pass often through these woods though, so any expedition should be well armed. Scavenge a nearby location. So yeah, okay viewers, this is where I will sign off and end the first episode. Apparently when we come back we will form our first expedition. We will go out, we will send a few people, probably 2 persons, out of the base, and we will try to scavenge some supplies from a nearby location, as the mission says, scavenge a nearby location. And this is another way of bringing in more materials into the base. Okay viewers, thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.